And we're here. We're unmuted.
Yeah.
Got that. Okay. Might be a shortened version today because maybe the wind will knock my house down and cut my power and my internet service. But don't let that stop you. Keep going. So here we are. This is like that. It's like that. So are you serious? And we are serious as a mild coronary. Okay, like an episode. Let's see. Serious as a cardiac episode. Serious as like I don't know, like gas that you have that you think you're having a heart attack, but it's
all the symptoms, but you're not calling 911.
Yeah, you really need Pepto-Bismol. Basically, is basically what we are serious as Pepto-Bismol.
This is a very serious episode, and anyone that's watching, if you laugh, shame on you.
A very special episode.
Yeah.
This is that one episode of season where someone's taking too many caffeine pills and they can't stop.
You know, I actually had a cup of coffee last night. It was my first cup of coffee in 5 months.
Oh shit!
And I'm telling you something, you should stop drinking coffee for 5 months because holy crap, was it good.
Finally, a good one.
This is holy shit. Yeah.
I mean, decaf is a thing.
What's that?
I mean, decaf is a thing.
It's not about that. It's
okay.
Not about decaf for decaf. It's about.
It tastes so good.
It's about we're in World War III, and I'm kind of cutting down on things that are celebratory, like coffee and beer, because I relate them to happy times and good shit. And
It's
like,
you know
what I'm saying? So I should do it the other way, but I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah, that hot bean water just hits different when you're sad.
The thing is that I used to go out for coffee a lot, and now I don't. And I got a million coffee makers here, and I've got some really great French roast coffee, which I love. And I just never think about making it, And then the last night I was like, "Oh fuck it!" And holy shit, whatever. Almost religious experience. Almost religious. So how's everybody doing? It's good to see all of you. Jesse, Kate, Lauren, Daniel, Sarah, Barry. Jesse, how are you? You're in the left-hand seat tonight. How you doing?
I'm good. It was a 4-day work week. Felt like a 10-dayer.
Really?
So
short week ever.
Right? So that was some bullshit, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you back. You've been out for a couple of weeks, but you did bring a doctor's note, so that's good. Casey, how you doing?
Right.
I'm good. I decided to go ahead and just stay in this weekend, a little different than the last 6 months, and it's worked out nice.
Yeah. Lauren, how are you doing?
Watching footage of the West Coast on fire and trying to put it together with apocalyptic soundtracks to make it more interesting.
Oh,
okay.
Dark.
Wasn't interesting enough, like base level. It really needed
some Tchaikovsky would be great here.
In the background, just so we can drive that point home.
We have to admit that out there on the West Coast, they really don't give a rat's when we get hit by a hurricane here. That's just a cool visual background for them on their TV. Oh, look, it's cool. It's like the moon.
Now, do you think the people that didn't want to wear masks that are now in the middle of, stuff getting inside their lungs, do you think they're wearing masks?
No.
No, because it's just one more thing to burn.
Because they're not afraid.
No, they're not afraid.
Now, Jesse, just to be clear, when you and your husband did your gender reveal
oh my God.
video,
Guys, we only started like a super small brush fire, okay? Not that serious.
It was like on an eighth of the Everglades at
gender reveal. Screw it. I'm going to do a gender reveal right here on.
No. Please.
Yeah. Daniel, how you doing?
Hey. Thought it might be a good opportunity just to come clean, A lot of episodes I've been telling people that I'm a Sagittarius.
Yes.
And I am.
Oh, it's
but
true.
all right. What I haven't told you all is that my moon sign is Scorpio. And I'm just not happy about that.
Me
So
too.
I kept it from you.
That changes everything.
What?
I know.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Sun signs and moon signs and
Yeah.
blue
I've
horseshoe.
got one moon sign for all of you, depending on how this episode goes.
Is that also a gender reveal or?
Yeah,
Could be.
My sign is
Could be in the right light.
something's
my sign
going to
is
come out of
do
it.
not enter. Wrong way. Sarah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I had some falafel today, and
And now you falafel about it?
yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, good. Are you serious? Come on, lighten up. God damn. Tell us about your falafel experience.
Ooh, it was really good. I was in Hollywood getting coffee, and I just, the hankering washed over me, and I just went for it. And honestly, it really hit the spot.
Yeah.
did you
It
put
was
it like in a sandwich or on a salad or was
Oh,
it
it was in a
independent?
pita. It was in a
Oh,
pocket.
well, that's how you do it.
Yeah,
Kind that had enough of the herbs in it that there was like a little bit of green when you bite in.
just a touch.
Uh-huh.
Not overly. Where,
Mm.
yeah, just
Yeah.
a touch.
Nice.
Okay.
Is it that joint on the roundabout on that big round area in Hollywood?
It's close. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Are
pita
there two
pockets.
roundabouts in Hollywood? Isn't it Young Circle?
Young
and-
Circle, and the
Circle.
other one.
Okay, Barry, how you doing? Now that we've
Good. I'm
discussed Hollywood.
I'm a few cups of coffee deep myself right now, so I'm like just really ready to go. I'm like, can we shut
Ready
up
to
and
go.
start, please?
Yeah.
Fucking go.
How do you
Let's
take
go.
how do you take your coffee?
Black.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
There is a correlation between psychopathology and preferring coffee black.
What's that?
Makes sense.
What's the
Does that make you a Sagittarius?
No, I think it makes you someone who actually likes coffee.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how I
I would agree.
Or how Michael Scott takes his coffee, cream and 6 sugars or something, and they're like, "This is just milk and sugar." He's like, "Yeah, milk and sugar. That's how I take my coffee."
I like my coffee the way I like my women. They're amazing. They're amazing if you don't do them for 6 months. Okay.
Freezer.
Okay. So are we ready to start this? The hilarity.
Yeah.
For those of you watching now, thank you so much for doing that. It's really cool that you support us and that you actually had nothing better to do. And in the future, of course, really sorry about what we did. We haven't done it yet, but I'm sorry about it proactively. So our game is very simple. Each one of our panelists has shared with me and only me some true little factoid about their life, something they've done or something that's happened to them. And I'm going to share one of each with us all tonight. They don't know if the ones that they shared with me I'm going to share, or if I've made up an entirely bullshit one. Either way, they're going to have to defend it as though it's the truth. The other team has to guess whether they're telling the truth or telling a lie, and whichever team guesses correctly more often or most often wins a fabulous prize. And I think I can finally reveal that. It's this right here. But you can't see it now.
Yeah. Is it full or has it been used?
No, it's on a green screen and it's green. So it's
cool.
actually it's a roll of transparent. It says transparent, right?
Ooh,
So
transparent.
That's the good stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. It's like it's tape.
Like, is it 3M or is it some kind of like white label? From...
Oh no, it's Scotch. Yeah,
Oh.
it's definitely Scotch.
If it's not Scotch, it's crap.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm proud of myself.
Not too many people remember that one.
I don't do a lot of puns, but when I do.
Okay. Yeah. So tape, a roll of tape. It's just like most of our politicians, completely transparent, and when it gets stuck to you, you can't get them off. Okay. Let's get started. We'll start as we always do in this spot right here. Let me try that again. Wait, this here. I'm so wow. I'm internet dyslexic. So we'll start with Jesse. Jesse, are you ready to share your truth or lie with us?
I am ready.
Okay, here we go.
Suck, Jesse.
Here we
Don't
go
suck.
with you.
Good team. Some of my wedding gifts were stolen at my wedding.
Oh man.
Ooh, which wedding was this?
Rude. This is my first and only wedding. Thank you very much. Casey was there, actually.
I was sober.
Not the groom.
Do you know what the items stolen were?
Yeah, that cash money. Yes, it was all envelopes. Mm-hmm.
All of the envelopes, or just like
no, not
some
all of the envelopes.
Okay, some of them.
It's not yours, Casey. Don't worry, you're good. I cashed.
I didn't. I didn't.
Yours was one of them that was stolen, right? Because I didn't get anything.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
So,
Definitely stolen.
Stolen?
Oh, I know, it's really sad, and I had a beautiful wedding, so I don't want to take away from that. But what happened was, as you know, at any wedding, we had like a little like bird cage box. You know, we thought it was really pretty. I didn't really think about like safety, like needing it to actually be like secure. You know what I mean? Like who would steal from someone at a wedding? And so, you know, we loved our wedding. It was beautiful. And then the next day, obviously, you go to open your gifts. Very exciting times. And like, we had a lot of gifts. It wasn't like something that you noticed. Like, you're not like keeping tabs like, oh, Uncle Jim didn't get us anything. You know what I mean? But then slowly over time, like a few people reached out and were like, hey, you never cashed our checks. You know what I mean? And then we pieced together that we were missing like 8 to 10 gifts, right? Uh-huh.
Jesse, did you figure out how this could have went down, you know?
Well, I think it was an employee. I don't think any of our guests would do that.
I am no longer employed
At that particular venue.
at
So
that particular venue.
I'm like a fucking like crazy person. And I reached out to some other brides that got married there, and I asked them to basically cross-reference their shit. And it turned out that they were also missing wedding gifts, like upon review. So now I got like a lot of brides going on, you know?
Ooh,
Wait,
So it's not like some
a
relative.
gaggle of Karens.
You know, at that point, Steve. But after the ceremony took place, I'm just not in favor of this anymore. I'm taking my gift back.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I can only assume they just take a handful, right? Enough, like, and then just see if it's cash and see if they get lucky.
How did you track down these other brides?
You
know, is there a whistle? Is there a specific whistle?
the mating call.
Walk over, or
It's like a Jap whistle, and like everyone in Boca just like answers the call.
that's called a shofar.
Where I got married, I had the Saturday night wedding, and there was a Friday night bride, and I was like pissed about it. I was like, how dare this bitch try and have like a Friday night affair on my weekend? But so I didn't like know who she was and like Facebook friended her, just to be like a bitch about it. Like, I got the Saturday night wedding, and but then we allied up and we, you know, we became friends.
And after this episode, she's not gonna.
That's true. That is true. Sorry, girl. So it's just like the perfect crime, because if you can't really ask someone like, hey, I don't think you got me a gift, right? You just have to assume that you get it. So there was a development in the case. It's very exciting. The venue called us and we're like, hey, we found one of your checks ripped in half in the bathroom. Because again, I'm assuming somebody just takes a handful and goes through them and whatever. And so there was a fingerprint on the check.
Oh,
yeah, like the cops are involved in everything, but it didn't return a match. I mean, they didn't find the person. So
Wait, so did they turn in the check to the police who dusted for prints, or was just like a custodian like whipping out his like press powder and like blowing it on the check and like doing some like gumshoe work?
there was like real police involved. Like I had the guy's number. I would call in for like updates. I was like really into it. Like a year later, I followed up. Like I'm a weirdo.
Did you find that any of the checks were like written out to cash and did get cashed, or like were they all written to you and your husband and then they realized they couldn't cash them?
I think I don't think they got anything out of us. Just forced, like nothing. We just had to have a bunch of awkward conversations. Like, hey, you have to rewrite us your fucking gift. That was what came of all of this. Like, thanks for that. They didn't even get anything. Oh God. Yeah, but otherwise, super beautiful wedding. I mean, you know,
Wait, so
I cried. I cried a lot.
How many people did you have to call to have rewrite checks?
there's to this day, there's like probably 5 to 10 people. I don't really know if they just didn't get me a gift or, you know, it's cool.
That's great though. If you reached out to people that you just knew were at the wedding, but didn't like, you're like, hey, we had an incident.
The theme of our wedding is grand. We have grandma and grandpa, a grand ballroom, and grand theft. Follow me to the buffet.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
Well,
That's it.
can you guys hear me? Because it was you were coming in from Mars for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah. I was here, but there was some weird stuff going on as I knew what happened.
Mhm.
But I heard most of it, but it was like choppy. It was like a 1994 cell phone call. So now what I need is you to debate the blue team. In fact, we should even actually. I didn't even bother to delineate which team is which, did I? I mean, sorry about that.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
am I? Yeah.
There we are.
There we go.
I was just going to refer to you guys as the bottoms.
Okay. The bottom. That's what was wrong. That's where I was all screwed up. Red team, blue team. Okay, so I need the people on the blue team to now confer and decide whether or not Jessie really did experience that horror.
So horrible.
Yes, of grand theft at her grand occasion, or petty theft at her petty occasion, whatever. Barry, Sarah, Daniel. Daniel, I'm making you captain again because you're still the
You're wily.
the senior member of your crew. AYS.
How do you guys feel?
Very ready. Yeah.
For a while, I was leaning lie, but then the lie got pretty good. So I'm leaning truth right now.
Woo!
I'm leaning towards the truth.
Yeah, when Jessie lies really well, she's telling the truth.
Certainly a feasible thing that can happen, but I don't know how easy it would have been if they didn't just take the box and run to like have figured that out, even over time. So I'm gonna lean with lie. I'm inclined to say lie.
This just felt true. You know, you ever just something just feel true?
No,
And-
never.
No.
Not ever in my entire life. Never.
You know, and
Talking
right,
about.
you close your eyes and it's just like, oh, that must be true because I feel it on the back of my neck. You know?
Yeah, every week I play this goddamn game.
Daniel, when I close my eyes, I'm not even sure that it's true that my eyes are closed. So I don't really know. So what are you going to say? You got one going each way, and you are going that way. So
I'm gonna
We're gonna-
trust your gut.
We're going true. We're going true.
you're going
Jessie.
true. You're
For
going
Jessie.
true. Well, it turns out that it is true.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately.
Dogs.
So
Yeah.
sad.
I didn't get one of those phone calls, and I didn't bring a gift. So.
There you go. Oh God, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
I
it.
know. It's okay.
Well,
The thief actually saw that I put 5 single $1 bills in the envelope, and they're like, "This is
Thrown
very
into the
sad."
old musical bird cage. You just
They left it.
All right.
My singles ended up inside of the bride's bra.
That's right. That was the after party.
But then she's used to getting singles thrown at her. Okay. So we move downwards on our screen toward Barry. Barry, are you ready for your thing?
Ready.
Here we go.
I graduated from high school in 3 years.
Okay. Of course, those years were not consecutive.
And where'd you go to high school, Barry?
Palm Beach Gardens High School.
Oh yeah, everyone graduates in 3 years.
Phoenix School of
Now, Barry,
online,
you're in your 30s now. You just graduated last year, right?
Yeah, just wrapped up last year.
What is that?
what was your SAT score? score that you took last year.
I don't
No.
remember.
He took the easy SATs. If you could spell SAT, you got credit for that.
Solid 69.
What year did you skip, and what process did you have to go through in order to graduate early?
I skipped junior year, and the process was just credits, just having enough credits to finish early.
So how
When
did
did you,
how did you get the credits early?
Summer school classes.
Oh, well.
and when did you stop becoming an overachiever? When did you stop?
The day I graduated
You
high school.
You obviously
You
stopped at
all up
some
early.
point. Yeah. You
You
obviously
did it all
stopped
up
at some point.
early.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be an overachiever. Unfortunately, I'm an overachiever and a procrastinator. And so one of these days, I'm going to overachieve.
And then did you get to finally have sex or no?
In
That's
summer
part of
school.
graduation. It was Palm Beach Gardens High School. They give you that with the diploma.
They do. It's extra credit. That's
You
right.
were part of the summer school curriculum.
Wait, what was that? Lauren, did you say something?
Was Mary Kay Letourneau your teacher?
No.
Hey, Barry, what score did you get on your STDs? I mean, SATs.
Wait, positive or net? Wait, which one do you want?
Which
Oh
one's the
my
good
God.
Did they clap at your graduation?
one?
Now, Barry, why?
Why? Because I could.
Did other people do it with you?
No one else did it with me. It was just me. I mean, other people graduated, but as far as I know,
I would
no
hope
one
so.
else.
They didn't.
They made him walk.
They just only I was the only one to walk.
You did something.
I took 8
Are you
years.
sure you weren't kicked out of school after 3 years?
You graduated, right? I mean,
I took
if you get your
8 years of
GED.
high school. I graduated in 8 years because I could.
Oh, now Van Wilder.
Barry, did you go straight to college? Did you take like a gap year?
Yeah, no, I went straight to college.
Okay.
He loses a year.
Just took a break.
That would be the most Barry thing to do. I'm going to hurry up so I can slow down.
Barry did a gap year, but he did it in 2 months.
Jessie also did a gap year. She worked at the Gap for a year.
Yeah, yes, I did. Yeah, I fell into the gap.
What was it like starting your senior year in a class with all different people than who you were, like rising up the previous grades
Well,
with?
I mean, a handful of the same people were in the classes I had. I mean, and the other thing is, Gardens is relatively big, but I feel like I knew most of the people there. So it really wasn't much of a difference because I knew most of the people.
Is it because you dealt drugs to everybody at the school? Not just your class?
Only the popular kids.
Okay, so let's wrap up the questioning and see if Barry actually was paroled from school in high school in only 3 years.
He got out for good behavior.
This is
Yeah.
hard.
I don't
Good
like
time.
this.
He didn't give information, but he did. It was like the perfect amount of non-information.
I'm tired.
That's what Barry does. That's Barry's MO, by the way. Daniel pointed that out many times.
He actually learned that his junior, senior
Incredible.
year of high school.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
This is
here's the thing.
bullshit.
Sarah did not graduate in 3 years. So it's like if she didn't, he definitely did.
I see where you're
Why
going
am I
with
the
that.
benchmark for that?
By
Because
the
Sarah,
transitive property.
you've done
It's a
you've done
benchmark in
so much more
general.
school than the rest of us.
Mhm.
And arguably, for someone like Barry to get out in 3 years, was Betsy DeVos the principal of the school at the time?
Okay. Whenever anyone mentions Betsy DeVos, it's time.
You gotta end it.
Yeah, we got. Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
the old Betsy.
You
I'm
drink
sorry.
every time you drink.
I'm sorry. That means the blue team wins. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, red team. I need your answer. Did he
This
or
feels-
didn't he?
This feels true.
What? I say
Feels
lie.
true to me.
Lauren, you decide.
I just don't know of schools having like an entire curriculum over the summer that this would be a possibility. I mean, especially with funding of schools and stuff. So I'm going to say lie.
Casey, what do you say? You're the
Well,
man.
that's not going to work out. I'm outvoted, so I guess we're going to say true.
Okay, Casey is commandeering everything here and is acting as captain to say
It's
true.
gonna be-
And you can thank him for that because it is true.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
I knew 5 or 6 people in my high school, including my girlfriend at the time, who graduated a year early.
It was pretty easy. You just take summer classes and
For like dual enrollment. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, Jesse, by the way, I graduated college in 3 years, not high school.
There it is.
So, yep.
Ah.
I could have been college.
Huge fucking mistake.
Yeah, but now you're
agree
crushing
here.
it. You're crushing it. We meet
Okay.
for lunch when there's no COVID. Things are great.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so we've got a tied score. Well, that's not something
God.
we have
Thanks,
very
Casey.
often at this point.
All right.
Casey saved the day there, and now it's
All
his turn again. So, Casey, here's yours. Here we go.
Yeah, poker face.
There we go. Well, poker somewhere.
I was once asked to leave a casino because of how I was rolling the dice.
Oh,
Okay.
I heard that wrong. I was like, how were you rolling them? I assume. Wait, were you rolling?
You were
them
like
with
rolling them to smoke them. He crushed them into a fine powder with like a mortar and pestle.
Rolled them in a little bit of egg batter, a little bit of breadcrumbs.
I was thinking like
Zombie
spit on them or something.
So were you just like hot on the dice, or were you doing like jerk off motions with the dice? Like
That's
like
what
was it the
You
it
really
the
did graduate
mean?
early, Sarah.
Was it your technique or your like actual like that you were doing too well?
It was a combination of both. So I was doing well,
Okay.
and I had figured out a system where you can roll the dice in a certain way at a craps table where you can protect yourself from rolling 7 or 11 by shaping the dice a certain way and then throwing them a certain way. And I was doing that, and it sets it up so that you can hit the 2 most popular numbers besides a 7, which is our 6s and 8s. And I was hitting a bunch of 6s and 8s.
Who did you learn that technique from?
The internet, I think. So I was like, I love going to Vegas. I think you guys know that. You guys should all know that I love Vegas.
We know.
And I'm always looking for like ways to find advantages. Like that stuff just fascinates me. And so I was in downtown, like the old Las Vegas. If you guys have been to Vegas, you guys know what I mean. But it's like the trashier part of Vegas.
Oh,
And
where the In and Out is?
yeah, I guess it's closer to the In and Out.
Like
Okay.
But it's by the Frontier. I think I was at the Queens, the 4 Queens, and so I was just rolling. And one of the times I threw it, and there's a certain like arc that the dice hit, and the stick man knocked the dice out of the air and said, "If you throw it like that again, you're out of here, and we'll keep your chips."
Ooh.
So my dad, over the next couple of rolls, took my chips and left. And I kept trying to throw it that way until finally they kicked me out. Then they took my chips. And
When
my
was
dad
this? When was this, by the way?
Before I had kids. So this is like, and it was when I was still selling mortgages. So it was like 2005, 2006, something like that. Because I was going to Vegas like 3 or 4 times a year because it was awesome. I could wake up at 6 in the morning. I could work until like noon and be done for the day, and then I could just be out in Vegas all day. It was great. So to this day, my dad still uses that technique up in the mountains in Colorado, and just tips the table really, really, really well, so that the stickmen don't knock the dice out of the air.
So if you were doing mortgages at that time, you were probably betting on yourself to lose.
Yeah, it was. Those were during the good times.
You shorted yourself.
You shorted yourself.
Yeah.
You were playing at the subprime craps table, or how does that?
Yeah. Well, at the subprime craps table, what happened is, as soon as the table looked like it was going to turn, we moved that table over to a clean table, put a cover over the top of that table, and then started a new game. And then when that one got loaded, we just kept doing that until, of course, they had to strip away all the layers, and everyone lost their home, including me.
It was really weird when they started securitizing all the tables, and then they were just it was just a room full of tables.
And they didn't know which trench they were going to.
Who are these jokes for?
And they had
you and me.
The pass,
just us.
Yeah,
the pass line, the don't pass line, and the derivatives. Okay, so
it was a variable rate table.
This is my least favorite segment.
Always tilted toward the house, the mortgaged house. Okay, so speaking about derivatives, we need to derive an answer. So, is it true? Is it false? Did it happen? Did it not? Was Casey once asked to leave a casino because of how he was rolling the dice? Or was it just an excuse just to get him to leave the casino?
I think this is true.
Okay.
If I were a betting man,
Well, I told you on the phone call. Oh, no, sorry.
I'm torn because I think this is a very believable story. But from what I know about Casey, he probably was kicked out of a casino for a similar reason, but not exactly this reason.
So what is that?
So I'm gonna go with
that's like a Barry answer.
I'm gonna pull a Barry where
Words
I'm
were
like on the
coming out
fence and
with
wrong
no-
every time. So I'm gonna say lie and let Barry decide.
Well, Daniel decides, but Barry can tilt it.
I'll let Barry vote.
Yeah, I'm leaning false as well. I do know that there is a way to roll the dice and have it land a certain way, but I think it takes way too much practice. So I'm leaning lie.
Okay, Daniel?
Tom would have had to create this prompt, banking on the fact that Casey really loves Vegas. Like, I don't know. It just seems, when I look at it that way, right? That seems weird. I don't know that Tom would do it. I don't know that he, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think about it that angle too.
Didn't ask you if you know. We just want an answer, true or false. Nobody knows. Casey knows, and I know, but that's about it.
I'm going with true, damn it.
He says true. Screw the rest of you.
We were overridden.
Screw your thoughts.
Let the record reflect we've been overridden.
Well, it is true.
Wow.
Brava.
Damn it.
Brava.
After last week's game, I gotta pull the ripcord, man.
Thank you for saving me from myself.
Nice.
Thank you. I appreciate
A lot
it.
of truth tonight.
The theme for tonight is the captain is definitely in control of the ship.
Yeah.
He is the captain now.
I'm going full Barry this game where I am just hot on how wrong I am. Yeah.
Wow.
Just gonna lean into it.
You're going full Barry. You're going to lead the game before everybody else. Okay, Sarah. Now
Okay.
Fuck off, Daniel.
I can't lose,
here we go. This is yours, Sarah.
Okay.
Fuck off, Daniel.
When I was a kid, I was told that the family cat wouldn't come near me because she was allergic to me.
Oh, I see.
What?
You had a lot of pets in that household of yours, Sarah.
Hell yeah. Oh my God, I love animals. That's obviously true.
How old were you when your parents had to make up a lie why the cat hated you?
like 5 or 6. I was young. I was really young. It wasn't it wasn't our cat that lived in our house. It was my Uncle Jerry's cat, and he lived up in Palm Beach County, but we would see them all the time. And he had this rescue cat named Chloe. And she just like showed up on his back patio one day, and he rescued her. And she was super affectionate, but pretty much only with him.
Super what?
Affectionate.
Affectionate or
affectionate?
Affectionate.
What else?
Okay.
Affectionate. I'm super affectionate, huh?
As we all know, cats are super affectionate, but like it's true because they can be affectionate, but they don't really give a fuck. So like, and they're really kind of rude. So cats kind of are affectionate. I'm gonna take it. You know what? I'm gonna use it.
This is yours. We just came up with this thing now.
I'm gonna use this in the future.
Pets with
use
benefits.
it in court.
Use it in court.
Use it in court.
An affectionate. Yeah.
My client is affectionate.
Lovable, but rough around the edges.
Affectionate alcoholic.
Affectionate. a high affectionate alcoholic.
Okay, come on. Wait, okay.
Anyway, okay, so this cat. So because the cat was a rescue, and my uncle like basically like saved it, so he wound up like the cat was in a bad way, took it to the vet. The cat got very attached, but only to him. So we would go visit him, or they would come visit us, and the cat would be around. And as a kid, I didn't understand why this cat didn't want to play with me. And I had bad allergies, so I understood what that meant. Like, oh, if you have something that you're allergic to, you can't go near it. And so like that, I understood. So I'd be chasing the cat around, and I would wonder why the cat didn't want anything to do with me. And my parents were just like, oh, you know how you have allergies and you can't go near things that are dusty? The cat's allergic to you, so the cat can't go near you. And it kind of took the edge off the fact that this cat, no matter how much I loved it, would not love me back.
What was it like when you finally learned that was a lie? I mean that you weren't, that the cat was probably not allergic to you.
I wasn't like betrayed, you know. It wasn't like,
well, you were betrayed. You just didn't feel betrayed.
Yeah, like my world didn't crumble. I was just kind of like, oh.
It was the same day you found out, you know, about Santa and the Easter Bunny.
Casey, I'm Jewish. I carried that truth my life, you know, like I was like a sacred bearer of the truth, so I didn't ruin it for other children. Like that's our cross to bear.
That was the day you found out about Sukkot. That's what.
I know where the Afikoman is hidden.
The day I found out that my dad was the one that hid the Afikoman.
And the prophet Elijah didn't come to your status because he was allergic to you. But leave him a cup of wine anyway, and he might. No. So how old were you when you realized that this wasn't true?
What animals did you actually have in your house growing up?
We had 2 goldfish. We had 1 parakeet.
Definitely a parakeet.
Bird food. And then when that parakeet died, we got 2 more parakeets. And then at one point, we had a dog that, funny enough, my dad was allergic to, and we had to get rid of the dog.
That's hilarious.
Oh, and a hamster. Yeah, that's it. So to answer Tom's question, it wasn't that long after. I was probably like 7 or 8, so it was like within the next year or 2
that
they were like, "No, that's not true."
Okay.
Because I was like, "How do you know the cat's allergic to me?"
Okay. So, Red Team, I need you to confer, investigate, get together, and figure out if it's true that Sarah
this one feels
told
true.
that the cat wouldn't come near her because it was allergic to her.
This one feels true.
It does, like it definitely does. But Sarah's a good liar, and like
She is.
Here's the thing, though.
She once told me we were friends.
yeah. So there you have it.
Guys, we've had 3 consecutive truths.
Yeah, but I know Tom, and Tom loves to mess with people.
Yeah. And besides, you guys are put up here in random order. There's no.
True.
As a host, he's very affectionate.
He's one of the most affectionate hosts we've had.
I am.
This
So
is
I need that
hard.
answer. I need that answer. It is hard.
TC, you're the guy, so we'll defer to you.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
I haven't blown that jack whistle in
Well,
like
I do,
30 minutes.
Jesse, I do count your vote at 72% of what I would
Perfect.
consider Barry's or Daniels if they were on my team. So,
So what do you say?
Lauren?
I mean, I think it's totally plausible, but I also I could go either way. I mean, she has such an honest face.
Does she?
When she spews absolute bullshit, it's almost like painful to watch because I'm so trusting of her. So
What's painful is getting an answer out of you guys. True.
There's not a
or
function in
lie?
energy.
I think this is true for the simple fact that it wasn't
Okay.
her cat. It was the uncle. It was not her cat.
Oh,
like
okay.
I've been through that scenario a number of times. I'm going to say true. I'm going to go
Good.
true.
All right,
Okay.
fine.
Well, it's a lie.
God damn it.
Yes. As I recall, we've used that cat before, haven't we?
We have. We
Sarah.
Well, that's why I thought it checked out.
Sarah can go function it.
I use this cat in 2 different lies. It is a real cat. And my uncle
and so was Uncle Jerry. I know Uncle
yeah,
Jerry
my
now.
uncle pulled a dead mouse whole out of that cat's butthole. He's a
What?
yes.
Excuse
That's
me?
why she got super attached to him. So the cat
Why
didn't
did you
actually.
share that?
That's why.
Yeah, the cat
sure
was
you did.
so finished because like it's so an entire
Doing
mouse.
the section
Oh,
like
okay.
cross back in so that they could do it again as like their thing.
Just like a human centipede, but it's just like a cat and mouse game.
Okay.
Literally.
It's time to throw some of the catnip up towards Lauren.
All right, let's
and
go,
she will say her thing, and you'll do your thing. Here we go, Lauren. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right.
I once got a ring that had been owned by Barbara Streisand and had it melted down.
This is a Jewish catastrophe. It's true. I'm so scared.
Was this the only piece of merchandise you had that was owned by Barbara Streisand? Okay. Do you like Barbara Streisand?
It's not like I have a shrine to Barbara in my living room underneath, the pictures of the family where I have like a shrine and memorabilia from her entire career underneath that.
Just go to the Goodwills in Boca. You will find a shrine of Barbara Streisand stuff. Probably signed.
How
Okay.
did you come to acquire such a piece?
She stole it at Barbara Streisand's wedding.
Yeah, what you guys
Next.
didn't know is actually OJ was pissed off when Streisand, whose hotel room was right next to his, got her stuff taken too. So OJ went to jail for Streisand too. No? Too soon?
We had OJ on the show last week, or we had OJ's cousin on the show
His
last week.
cousin.
That's true. That's
And it
true.
was
That
true.
is true.
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
I
he-
missed that.
Rest in peace.
I don't know what you missed. I don't know. It's up there on the
You dead
internet.
yet? Is OJ dead yet?
What did you have it meltdown for?
To make another ring. That it was
One to rule them all.
the ring had stones in it that there was a main stone and then 2 side stones, and I liked the side stones. And so I basically got the ring just so I could take the side stones and then hopefully like recoup some of the money by selling the bigger one in the middle, and having those on the side.
All I'm imagining is that Lauren is making a glove, and there's like a Celine Dion glove. There's a Barbara Streisand. There is a
The
why can't I think of
over here.
a Whitney Houston?
There's just like a Divas Infinity glove.
And in honor of OJ, the glove doesn't fit. So.
Tom did it. Tom did it.
Extendable and go through like 4 rooms before you can get to the end of that one. But, yeah.
What were the stones that you liked? in there?
They were diamonds. They were a special cut of diamond that are very hard to find.
Wait, did you say how you got this, how you came across this thing and how you acquired it?
At an auction.
Was it expensive? I mean, it sounds like it. How did you find out about the auction? How'd you get it? Can anyone roll up to this auction? I've never heard of a Barbara Streisand auction, so
Yeah, you don't hear about him, Daniel. You don't talk about him, okay?
I'm not on the mailing list.
You got to get on a temple newsletter. You got to sign up. Yeah, was it a public auction, a silent auction? Like, what was the eBay? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So wait, did they not specify who owned the ring? Like, how'd you find out?
I was emailing the seller back and forth with a whole bunch of questions about stuff, and he said, "Oh, well, this was celebrity owned. That it was eventually being sold to raise money for charity." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. Who's the celebrity?" He's like, "Well, if you buy it, I'll tell you." So I'm like, "Oh, well, I was probably going to buy it anyway, so I did." And then he's like, "It was Barbara." I'm like, "Oh."
Okay, I need an answer from the blue team. You can actually win it on this one. So it's your ball game.
These days, Lauren is hard to read. These days, I just think to myself, does it sound like something she would do? And I have to say with this one, definitely.
Myself, being someone who's very familiar with eBay, it could be true, but I definitely think it's a lie.
I'm leaning towards lie only because the timeline for this to be true would be Lauren would have had to acquire the ring and have it melted down before the seller disclosed who had owned it. And if she knew it was celebrity owned, would she have had it melted down before finding out
Lauren,
who it was? So I'm gonna lean with lie.
So it's 2 against 1. Daniel, where are you on this?
Why would she have had to melt it down before she found out? Is that what she said?
Based on the phrasing of the prompt, it seems like, well, based on her love of her too, would she have melted down the ring?
I don't think so.
Knowing that it was Barbara.
But I don't think Tom would know anything about her and Barbara Streisand to write that prompt on his own.
She's a Jewish woman.
Keep me out of this.
Tom wrote a lie for you about Richard Simmons, so
That's true.
Yeah, but I don't like.
well, okay, I'm saying lie.
I'm saying lie.
I'm saying lie.
All right, I really want to go the opposite way, but
trust your
I'm gonna
gut.
go with you guys. I'm gonna go with you guys.
Okay.
Okay, you say it's a lie. It's true.
Barry, it's because I'm next to you. Your fucking Barryness is rubbing off on me.
Good job, Lauren.
How is that true?
Every
Why?
team drags me
I
down. That's
like
what
to
I'm
see
saying.
Wait,
how
so
other
did you
people
know it
also
was
hate
Barbara's
being
when you had it melted down?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Damn, I thought you would have wanted to
Okay.
keep it in the form, or do you just feel like now you and Barbara have a connection?
She's
What
part of
was
the
was that there was actually a little bit of her red nail polish on the inside of the ring that I noticed.
Whoa. It's like it's blood.
Okay.
Have you
Okay.
planted it in the hopes of growing a new Barbara? Like, what did
Okay.
you do with the fleck?
Okay, hey, funny girls, we need to move down to Daniel for this one. Daniel, are you ready? This could make or break you.
Oh, we'll find out.
We'll find out. Here we go.
I once convinced a friend who was new to Florida that he should chain his car to a tree if a hurricane hit.
I mean, yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Who's this friend to you?
Bad.
So it was a coworker who I worked with at Citrix in Fort Lauderdale, who was from Michigan. And when Irma came, which, as you guys probably know, was like 3 years ago, maybe 4, a lot of the Fort Lauderdale staff was flipping out if they're not from here. They don't know what Florida people know, that you only freak out if it's a Category 5 and it's coming straight at you, right? And
I
yeah,
never got that memo. I freak out all the time.
anyway, this guy was really freaking out, and I half-heartedly was kind of honest about the advice. You know, as long as that tree doesn't fall over, you know, it's not a bad idea to make sure it's locked down. But I'm an idiot. So
But basically, you've kind of convinced him that this was like a thing that's done.
yeah, absolutely,
I see.
absolutely.
Did
You
he
were
do it?
wishy-washy about it, but
Did he do it?
No, he didn't end up doing it. Now, number one, he was not skeptical about this. He was going to do it, but our company said anyone who wants to put their cars in the parking garage, we will open it up to all staff for as long as you want. When we open offices back up, then the parking garage will, it'll go back to normal. But
And then
anyone
once
can-
they collected everybody's cars, that's when they started to scale down and let people go.
what? I'm not sure I understood that question.
Talking about stolen car ring, basically.
Oh,
When Citrix started to do their massive job cuts years ago.
It's the only ring you can't melt down.
they're still doing them.
Anybody else?
That checks out corporate life.
Any more questions?
Was there anyone who would bring out a chain in order to show, to demonstrate how to attach the proper methodology for attaching a car to a tree?
I don't think there's any one proper method of chaining a car to a tree.
I mean,
so many choices of how to go about.
No, I don't think any of our coworkers gave a shit to enter the conversation and try to back up my lie to him, right?
Yeah.
It was just a thing.
I just realized this is a lie about a lie.
around when you were having this conversation?
I don't remember. I mean, my guesstimate would be we were in the kind of common area, and people would have heard me doing this with him over lunch or something.
Okay.
But I don't recall anyone intervening in the story at all on this.
Okay.
I don't think most of the people I work with were like young 25-year-olds at the time.
As opposed to old 25-year-olds.
And a lot of them didn't give a shit.
I'm an old 25.
Okay, so red team, I will need you to come up with a consensus. Is it true or false that Daniel once convinced a friend who's new to Florida that he should chain his car to a tree if a hurricane hit?
Now, I'm going to preface this by saying no matter what I choose, I know that Tom will lie and choose the opposite. Simply to punish me because he and Daniel have something going on, and this prize that I've never gotten is I'm
Casey,
mad.
I'll buy you some tape.
Lauren, how do you feel
I mean, I think it's a thing that
about Daniel in general?
Don't like him.
Don't answer.
like his face.
Do not answer.
It's not about knowing. It's about saying.
It feels
Kinda
true
like
to me with
life.
the detail about like the parking garage, like right? Unless he just that could be any event.
and other stuff before, that doesn't mean anything.
I
Yeah.
know.
And he also vagues out on his truths too.
Yeah.
He
I
figured it out.
don't go either way with you know what? I'm going to say lie on this one.
Mhm.
I just kind of think that he would think of something a little bit more creative in the event of a hurricane, and he would make sure that there are other people to be like, yeah, totally, that's what you do.
So if it is a lie, that doesn't say much for me.
For as much as I can't stand Daniel, he's I don't see him being a jerk like this, like in the time of hurricane. I'd only see him being helpful. That's why I think that this is a lie. Jesse?
Yeah.
You missed last week when he told a woman that her dog had mad cow disease. So
And that was true?
no, it was a lie. But
It was a lie.
See?
okay.
Tom Daniel's so mean.
I think it's a lie. And just know, Daniel, that I think less of you either way. So
We can go with these guys.
Okay, so you're
I'll go
saying
with
it's
them.
so basically you're saying it's a lie, and I can tell you that it is a lie.
Yeah. I don't do those things to people. It's not,
it's not part of your character. You only do that
Those
stuff to me.
TVs and shit.
We're gonna work on his character. We're gonna make him that guy.
We're gonna make him affectionate.
that was actually something that I sort of did. So,
Right.
I didn't actually do it with a hurricane, but in college, we were on the radio, and we convinced a disc jockey to tell everybody in town that there was a blizzard coming, which there was, and that you had to go to the city hall to get a chain to chain your car to a tree or a post, and among other things. And the DJ, not I, but the DJ got suspended for a month for doing that by the FCC. But we didn't like him. He played way too much Billy Joel. Okay, so we have a tied score, and we haven't had this in a while, but we've got a tiebreaker. And this is what we do. We do Tom's tiebreaker. So I will tell you a truth or a lie about myself, and one by one you'll determine as individuals whether you think it's true or false. And here it is.
Okay.
I once helped a friend wallpaper the outside of his car.
Why did your friend want his car wallpapered?
What's that?
Why did your friend want his car wallpapered?
It's a very strange guy.
What was the pattern?
I'm glad you asked. It was, flocked wallpaper. It's got like a raised felt thing. It's white with red raised stuff. You can feel the fuzzy on it, and so it was like fleur de lis or something like that. Some flowery. It just was white with scarlet stuff. Fuzzy stuff,
but with that like velvety texture.
Texture, that's it. Yeah.
Interior or exterior
of his car?
Yeah.
Did he try to drive
exterior?
Yeah.
The exterior, outside of his car. Mm-hmm.
Did he try to drive it wallpapered?
He did drive it wallpapered. Yes.
How long did the wallpaper last for on the car?
A very long time.
Huh.
I don't know. Years, I guess.
What kind of adhesive? Was it traditional wallpaper adhesive, or did you have to use something specific?
No, even back in those days, even then they had peel and stick wallpaper.
Were there other people who wallpapered who flocked their car, and did they travel together?
We were very affectionate group. No. Not that I know. That's very funny. No, not that I know. Anyone else?
Did this guy have did he have like pimp energy? Like what? Like describe this guy.
He was a very funny guy. He was a comedian kind of guy. He was very clever, very silly, and did all kinds of stuff.
So he would do like gags, like this was like his thing.
Life was a gag to this guy.
Okay.
Still is. He became a priest.
I punched him in the face.
But he switched from Roman Catholic, which is what he originally was, to Episcopal Catholic, because Episcopal Catholics can still get married.
Get it on
with women. He wasn't about to give that up. I mean, if you got wallpaper on your car, you're obviously a Dave Magnet.
You fuck. For sure.
No, I need an answer for you individually. Jesse, lie or true?
True.
Barry.
True.
Casey.
False.
Sarah.
True.
Lauren.
False.
Daniel.
True.
That's true. Well, that means it is true. Yes, it is true. It is true. So true. You had it. And you were so close. So that happened.
Yeah.
Yes. He also had a stuffed raccoon epoxied to the hood of his car as a hood ornament. He had a potted plant in the front seat between the two seats. He had Chinese lanterns hanging down instead of an interior light. He had Peabody and Sherman statues all over his car.
Where is this man's parish?
He's in Albuquerque, New Mexico these days.
Awesome. Good for him.
Cooking meth.
Well, he also studied as a nurse,
But if this was a textured wallpaper, wouldn't it have gotten like really moldy pretty quickly?
No, that stuff was meant for bathrooms and stuff. So it was meant to be. It was like a plasticky kind of stuff. With it's not at all. The whole car wasn't wallpapered. He had a big wide racing stripe going down the hood, then 2 racing stripes of it on the roof, and then the whole back of the trunk was wallpapered, and he had some other
fucking guy. Love him.
Runners.
Love this guy.
I wallpapered my car.
It was
to be a man of the cloth. I've seen this story a million times.
It was a Pontiac GTO. This one's like a muscle car, and he did it anyway. So anyway, the blue team did win.
It was a close one, guys. It was close.
It was close. You almost had it. Oh, if only you realized that when I say weird shit like that, it probably is true. So Jesse, Casey, Lauren, Daniel, Sarah, Barry, thank you so much for doing this stuff. Thanks for being there. Thank you, those of you out in TV land. It's true that we like having you there. And
thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, really. Thanks for watching, and we'll do it again next week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Until later. That's me.
Hey, we do have classes popping up, so check out the Doghouse Theater and the Sick Puppies Comedy website.
Yeah. Yep. That'll be popping up in the next day or so. The information and
Nice.
Yeah, and I've got a new book out. I haven't really said much about it yet, but do that too. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait, is it true or is that a lie? No,
it's true. I bought it. I bought that.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Have a safe weekend.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.